Anyways, with all the excitement about the World Series tonight and all that, we kind of have a little excitement of our own here locally with the Sounders beating LA. Great win. Coach Metzger is all fired up, I'm sure, and representing like 3 out of the last 4 years or something in the finals. Man, let's talk about the Sounders. No, don't put. I can't help you. But anyway, we showed the highlights today, so the guys can be fired up and be ready to be cheering them on. It is a big deal for us that we're turning the corner on the halfway point, and it isn't just getting to the halfway point; it's what you're going to do about it, and that's all gone and done with, and now this is when the run to the finish is underway, and it's really important for us that we keep stepping forward and we keep fundamentally getting better. We keep working at all of our stuff and keep improving. We're not a finished product. We're still working at stuff, and we're trying to find our way in some areas and make sure that we're really moving forward so that we can finish really well. And we're really excited about it. We've got pretty good health with always some issues, but in general we have a lot of guys practicing and a lot of guys available during this course of this week that should be available to play in the game, which is a really good sign for us. And so it's a championship week, and we got to do it right. The Bucks have a very explosive team. They have a lot of really difficult aspects of their team. Their throwing game, their receivers are terrific. They're putting up a ton of yards, and they can explode on you. Their defense is really tough against the run, the best in the NFL. And as you put the film on, it's obvious why. They're really good up front from the middle out. And so we've got some really good challenges for us to put together a good game here, and we got to get back on track here at home in particular. So I'm looking forward to it.
How close were you guys to making any moves before the trade deadline?
Relative to how close, we were working in the phones, we had a lot of conversations with a lot of people just so that we know what's going on. We're in on everything that happened. John and his guys were working on it for the last couple of weeks, really. It wasn't just yesterday. And so it was, we were involved, but nothing was right. So we did what we needed to do and keep our guys here and keep them together and do the best we can.
Why is Tedder Thompson on
injured? He needs labrum surgery. He's had a shoulder that's been bothering him for some time, and we're going to get him fixed up.
He was playing through it?
Yes.
How long?
It's been a while. He's been really toughing it out for a good while. So we're going to miss him. He's been an integral part of our stuff and a really good teammate. We love the guy, and hate that he's not going to get to play, but we got to fix him up.
Well, the determination to do it now as opposed to before or after, why now?
Because it's bothered him that much. We need to fix it. He's been making it through it, and he can't keep it going.
Is that not something you have to have on the injury report, like on a week-to-week?
Yeah, he's just been last year or something like that. He had something that he was concerned about, and this week it went, and so we have to fix him up.
You mentioned the challenge with the run game for Tampa. What for Joey specifically, Vita Vea and Dominican Sue? How big a challenge is that for him?
They're as big as you can get. Yeah, Vita is a monster of a guy in there, and we know that Sue has always been a terror. So it's a challenge for all of our guys. They start from inside out in the running game defense, and it's a very, very strong part of the football team.
Their pass rush, just with JPP coming back and.
Yeah, it's a problem, and they pressure. They're right up there with the top team in the league as far as how much they pressure. They're going to come after you a bunch, and so they're using their edge guys quite a bit. The linebackers are really fast and can really make things happen too, as well as the safeties that they bring. So they really give you the whole thing, and they're very difficult.
Who would be your backup center right now if something happened to Joey?
Roos is backup center.
Has he done that before?
Yeah, he's been working at it for a long time. Preparing for it.
Is that something you've done with Phil yet? Is that something you see him possibly being able to do as well?
He's done some snapping, in the warm-up stuff and like that, but we want to keep him at guard.
When did Jordan play center? Just in practice? Or?
With us, yeah. We've been doing it with him for a while.
Any update on Bradley or Lano Hill?
Yeah, Lano's still coming back. He's not back yet. Bradley's ready to go. He's full speed.
And Quandre, same as Monday?
Yeah. I'm going to go with him all the way to the weekend here. But we got to get him out in the practice field, before we can give him a chance. It's going to be a long shot for him to make it this week.
You talking about the upside you're seeing from Marquise Blair?
Yeah, I think it's all upside. I think everything's out in front of him. He's shown running and hitting like we love. Very instinctive football player, very tough. He's every game is a good experience for him to grow, and he's going to just continue to get better and more confident. And he already plays with a lot of confidence in the way he attacks the football and attacks his plays to be made. But he'll just get better over time.
How's he progressed compared to what you wanted from him and what he understood about playing?
Well, remember that he had trouble in the offseason. We didn't get him out there, and then we had trouble in camp and keeping him out there as well. And so he just missed too much time to expect him to really be any farther ahead than he is. And he just couldn't get out there. But he's never shown anything but playmaking, a style about the way he runs and attacks the ball and all that. So there's no surprises in what's going on. It just takes time. And now we've kind of forced the issue, and he's had a couple starts now, and he's ready to go. He's ready to be out there competing.
Is there a line with safeties on wanting to make the play but still understanding the role in your defense and
Absolutely.
blocking
Yeah,
that?
there's a lot to that. Yeah, and first they have to serve the defense, and they got to do things right and be where they're supposed to be and give us what the basics and the fundamentals of it. And then as they make the statement that they understand and they get it, then they'll feel more comfortable and more confident and free up more to be more active. Some guys don't wait very long. This guy in particular, Marquise, he's going for it. And we're really excited about his nature that he brings.
KJ talked about in Marquise's first start how he seemed really calm out there and was even joking around like, "Oh, you took that tackle for me," and just seemed really loose. Have you noticed that about him?
Yeah, it's not too big for him at all. He's excited about the competition and really, we haven't even thought about that it's a problem in that regard. He's ready to go.
Just to clarify on Roos, did he play in the preseason or just in practice in second?
No, we started him. I don't know how long ago it was, but we started him in earnest. It was, I don't know, 6-8 weeks ago or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why was he a better option than Fuller, who has played some center in college?
Well, that's a good question. Roos has been with us for a long time, and he knows our system really well. He's really one of the great attributes that Joey brings us is his smarts and his ability to control everything. Well, Roos is really the farthest along in that regard, and he'll do the best job right now. But Kyle he'll be competing for the spot too, though. And because of his background, he played 3 full years or 4 years of Baylor, and has had taken a ton of snaps. That's really helps him in terms of the competition. But right now, it's more important that we're making our calls and everybody's complimented with what's going on and we know what we're doing, and so that's why we're there.
What was the center market like, as far as the trade market? Was it?
You'd be surprised that it wasn't that wide open.
Given the quality of the opponent, what are your concerns about Joey Hunt and his first start this year?
I'm not concerned about him at all. Joey's been with us for a long time, and he's been in games for us over the years. He started a few games. He has done as well as somebody could do in this role of being a backup guy to give us the confidence that he can handle it. We've just seen him play so consistently in practice and in the work that he's done. He's never backed off, but reassuring us that he's ready to go. And he's a really good technician. He's really strong underneath. He's got great leverage as he plays, and he knows how to play the position. And it's his time, for him, and I'm not worried about it one bit. It wouldn't matter who is playing center with Vita Vea over there on the other side. He's a remarkable player, and we'll give him a lot of respect.
Every week I know that you want to move forward, but is there something that you're able to coach differently or talk about differently at the halfway point with so much, game and game experience under your belts?
I think you're asking, like, we continue to build on everything that's happened, and try to draw from the experiences and make sure that we get better from what just happened. Last week was a really good illustration. We were flying in the first half, everything was ripping, and then we ran up against it, and they came out doing it on their side. Atlanta played a really good second half, and we didn't handle it as well as we needed to. So I love the 24-0 team, and we need to get better at making sure that we make that transition better than that. It still turned out to be a really good win on the road, and we'd love it that we got it done. But the lessons are clear. So that's an example of we need to keep taking advantage of those things and try to put them behind us and make sure that we're stepping ahead and we're strong and clear what we're up against.
Dakota Watson, just What does he bring when you guys look at that?
Well, we're hoping we're going to give him a chance to, give us some rush on the edge, and he's been a really accomplished teams guy too. We're hoping that he can give us some just additional boost there. We'll see. I need to see him on the field starting today.
Do you expect Ed Dixon to play this week?
I don't know that yet. He's been on the walkthrough field so far. He's got to get out there. He hasn't had one day of practice, so in months and months. So we just need to break him in and see where he is. He was in good enough shape. He had returned well enough that we were able to really push him the last 3 weeks to see if we could get him up to work, the work level that it would take to be ready, so he could just move in and transition smoothly. We'll find out. And we've watched him and all that, but he's pushing bags and trainers around and stuff like that. So it's going to be a little bit different.
You mentioned Tampa's passing game. The two receivers they have, that combo. How good are they?
Yeah, they're just loaded with talent, and Chris is their leading receiver, but Mike Evans is the star that we've watched for years. And if you just watch the last game, Mike was all over the place making plays and lighting it up, and a lot of tough catches in difficult situations. You can see the confidence that Jameis has in those guys to throw the ball when they're in trouble and in traffic, and they give them a chance to make a play. It makes those guys really dangerous, and they've got other guys too. They got other guys that can fly. So this is a pretty classic group for Bruce to have. Where he's got his receivers that are really stellar, and it's a difficult offense to deal with.
What does Dixon add to this offense?
Well, he's an all-around ball player. He can play Y and can play the F position. He's good downfield. He blocks well. He's played a lot of football, so he's really well versed at all the little tricks and things that the guys have to do at that position. So he brings experience. He brings playmaking, and he can play Y and F. He's got a lot of versatility to him. So we're very fortunate to have him at this time jumping out. As we lost Will a couple weeks back, there was a little void in there. But if Eddie can jump back and help us out, that'd really be something that we could move with.
Did Justin have surgery yet on his knee?
No.
When is that?
I'm not sure what date it is. I asked that, and we didn't have the date on that yet. He was at the walkthrough today, still on crutches.
But for all the things you're trying to accomplish on defense, are you comfortable allowing air yards, or do you rather, where you focus what you're trying to accomplish on defense?
What did you call it?
Are you comfortable giving up yards to the air, comparatively speaking to what you're doing?
Air yards. That's a good term. No, we don't want to give up anything. We don't give up anything. But sometimes that's what happens, We were in 2 quarters of a 2-minute drill, basically. And so that happens sometimes. I wish we would have got off the field on some third downs to get out of there and not give them the opportunity to stay out. But no, so we're not comfortable with it at all.
Ray Flowers?
He's practicing today, and we need to see how he responds through the week. But we're counting on him being ready to go.
Monday, you talked about overall your defense was you weren't giving anything over the top. What then is the next evolution for you to be able to, kind of Joe's question, to minimize the amount of yards you're giving up overall?
Yeah, well, get off the field on third down is a really important part of that, and that's part. But we have to make sure that we're complementing with what we're doing coverage-wise and pressure-wise. And it felt like they're pretty comfortable in the pocket last week. And so we saw, the quarterback hit a lot of stuff, and he was on the money, and he kept the thing going with all the check down short stuff, So we need to knock a couple balls down. We need to make a couple coverage breakups. It's just complementing all the things that you do. We were secure and solid, but not as productive as we want to be.
Was that the most impactful you've seen Jadeveon this season, Sunday in Atlanta?
Yeah, I think that might have been his best game. It's pretty hard to beat it when you score a touchdown in a game and kickstart a ball game like he did a couple weeks ago. But he's been consistently active. His numbers are, again, I go back to his pressure numbers are 16, 17% or something like that. That's a good number, so we just got to give him, clean a couple more times, get the quarterback down, just so we can all cheerlead and stop asking the questions, So, but I love the way he's playing, and run and pass. He's really active, and he's getting hold of the system now and taking advantage of it, and I think we're just going to continue to see a lot of productivity out of him.
He tweaked his shoulder again on Sunday?
Yeah, he came out of the game. He came out of the game, and he couldn't. This is what the result is, So.
Do you have a favorite Halloween costume that you've ever done?
I was a scarecrow. Yeah.
I can't ask you a question.
Sorry.
Good. Okay, see you guys.